Yo, 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 what's up? It is Bored TV. It's Will. It's Phil. It's Bryce. What's good, dudes?
How's it going?
Going.
Another day, another day in the life of a bored ape. Very boring day. Really hot in Texas still. Broncos back in training camp. So I had to rep a little Denver Broncos living in Dallas, Fort Worth. I'm
That's
surprised I haven't gotten kicked out of the Metroplex yet. Will,
good.
you good, dude? You good, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just same. Trying to survive in the heat right now in the U.S. It's pretty gnarly. Also trying to survive the volatility of ETH right now. It's been going up and down all around. Pretty crazy.
ETH wrecking the Bears.
For
ETH has been wrecking the Bears today.
We love to see it. We love to see it. I'm not sad about it. I actually was like semi-surprised. So obviously with the increase via the U.S. government, I guess that was baked in, because then all of a sudden ETH was like, fucking party. Like that was a little bit surprising, I suppose. But I guess I'm starting to feel like things get kind of ahead of the news. Like people are making these moves before the news comes out, and then typically the news doesn't necessarily impact it as much.
Yeah. Depending on the outcome of the news, it could, help boost it in either direction. But yeah, I feel like it's pretty much already determined. People made their plays already.
Definitely curious though, because it really did rip. Like ETH was, what was it, like 1,300 or something, and then it was like, let's go straight to 1,600. Here we go. So I don't know what'll happen. I guess the merge is pretty soon ish. Like what are we, 6 weeks or something away? I'm not really sure what that does to price action, but I guess we'll see soon enough. So let's talk a little bit about today. This is our very first episode highlighting, obviously, Bored Ape members. We're excited. It's called Please Don't Bore Us. Typical, because we're bored apes. And we're going to have fun. We're going to entertain. And we're definitely looking forward to it. The timing is impeccable, too. The timing of our guest is impeccable.
Too good.
As obviously, as AIP went through, got smashed through, I believe like 88% was yay. So like that's massive. Will, I'm concerned. Are you okay, dude?
Yeah, sorry. I'm like,
did you just eat a death
through tabs right now, trying to make sure I got everything lined up. But yeah, no, definitely. Super awesome. We have the Bored Ape Gazette chilling down in the lobby, about to hop up here with us. But no, it was. I mean, he just had his AIP number 70 pass through, which is good. I mean, we love to see the participation in the DAO and seeing community members get their proposals through and approved. You love to see it. Super awesome. I still think overall maybe the DAO doesn't have as much participation as would be desired, but it seems like they're making good progress in trying to make it more transparent. So maybe we'll get a little insight on the submission process, but I don't know. I think it's good.
I agree. I think that's one of the best parts about Bored Ape way back when, was the fact that, community members were able to kind of make a name for themselves if they decided to do that, and put the time and effort in. And this is just kind of another one of those instances where, the Bored Gazette's been helping us obviously curate news for quite a while now, and always keeping us, at least me, updated on Bored Ape news, rumors, sales, all kinds of stuff. And I think that's also going to be really needed, or it is needed. More transparency and information with obviously the Ape coin specifically and the DAO. And I think it will be a massive help, because I do think there's been some confusion a bit.
Agreed. I also think it'll be great to have a platform with all the ideas that he said on the website.
For sure.
The tickers and all the sales and everything. I think it'll be beneficial.
I agree. And so we'll be able to dive into that, as well as play our first ever Please Don't Bore Us game. We'll be introducing them as we go. So, Will, why don't you talk about tonight's game with our good friend, the Bored Gazette?
Yeah, so, we've been trying to come up with some ideas. How do you make it engaging? How do you, draw a little bit of comedic relief in between some interviews and stuff like that? So today we're going to be playing a game called Mint, Marry, Burn. You can kind of guess where it is a parody of. But essentially, you know, we're going to throw up some images. What is it that you want to mint? What is it that you want to marry? AKA, you know, you're never going to let it go. And then what is it that you're just going to send straight to the burn address? You know, we're just going to try and throw some curveballs in there, and we'll spice it up a little bit.
No, for sure. And I think that's the point, is it should be entertaining. It'll be fun. And obviously, when we go through these games, please don't take it as financial advice. It's for fun. It's literally entertainment. That's the whole purpose of it. So I guess we can just get into it. So do you want to bring them on?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I like the animation, guys.
Dude, hey, we got to keep it lighthearted. Obviously, I've fallen in love. If you've watched any of our videos, I've definitely fallen in love with the app. Shout out GIF, I think is what it's called. It's I think it was 99 cents and well worth it. Obviously, I've created entirely too many GIFs in the matter of like 2 weeks, so well worth the 99 cents. Welcome, my dude.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it tonight.
Yeah, we're excited to have you on board.
We are all like, we've been talking about this for a while now. And obviously we had reached out to you about getting on the show and being one of our first guests, and just, you know, kind of picking your brain, getting to know a little bit about you. And obviously we're all kind of giddy to actually put a face with the name and kind of see a little bit behind the curtain. And again, the timing is hilarious. Like that was actually not planned at all. So, or maybe it was, I should have said it was. We had great planning and this is exactly what we wanted, but I think it was just perfect timing.
Oh, 100%. When I saw you guys message me, I totally thought you guys planned on it, especially when you were like, oh, Wednesday night. I'm like, oh, the night the vote ends. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Nice work, guys.
Yeah, well, we're going to go with that. Actually, I'll make sure to scrub the last few seconds of the thing. Yeah, we're going to
planned.
Yeah, we planned.
It was completely planned. We were definitely looking forward to obviously talking to you about the AIP. And again, congratulations. That's super exciting. I'm sure that you were maybe a little anxious and a little excited and maybe a little of everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, you never really know how the vote's going to go till it goes. And, you know, it looked good from the beginning. I was really excited, but, you know, just you never are really 100% sure. So the second it closed, I was like, oh, thank God. Okay, that's over. It's been a hectic week. It's been like that little thing in the back of my head just all week. Hey, how's that going? I was constantly pulling it up on my phone, refreshing it, seeing how people are voting, and just going like, okay, this is good. This is good. But happy it's over. Excited to start building out the Gazette.
Definitely.
For sure. So before we dig into your proposal and all that kind of stuff a little bit, how about you give us a little bit of a background on, you know, how you got started in the NFTs, how you got into the swamp, and, you know, kind of walk us through what that was like for you, and then how you transitioned into this idea of I'm going to build the Bored Ape Gazette, and then how it kind of took off from there.
All right. So it all pretty much starts. I was back in college, and it was like 2017 to 2018. You know, remember when Bitcoin ran up for like the first big time and everyone was looking? Mm-hmm. So I found this little like cryptocurrency called ETHLend, and I was really excited about it. I put a few $1,000 into it. I was really excited. It went up a little bit, and then, you know, everything crashed, went to zero. 2020 rolls around. ETHLend, this is crazy, turns into Aave.
Okay.
I had a pretty nice bag of ETHLend as it was transitioning into Aave, and then like that fall 2020, I sold all of it, and I was just sitting in Bitcoin and ETH and going, okay, now what do I do? Found NBA Top Shot in December, had some fun in NBA Top Shot, watched that boom and bust. But, you know, it got me into Twitter. And then I'm sure a lot of people have already had the same world. They got into Twitter because of that. Then everyone one day just changed their picture to Bored Apes. And I was like, oh, I got to do this. So I quickly figured out how to make a MetaMask wallet. I was in the Discord going, how do I know which one's real, which one's right? Then people are like, it's the one with the check mark next to it. I'm like, this one? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, great. Bought my Bored Ape, and, you know, the rest is history. A month later, I made the Bored Ape Gazette because my background is in like business reporting, business news. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Let's do this. Let's see what happens.
So when was that you bought it? So you're saying that obviously they had a check mark. What was that time frame like?
It was like May 3rd, May 4th, something like that. Okay.
It was still like super early then.
Oh yeah,
early.
a few days in, I was just looking at it, and before I got into it, even I was looking online, going, "Oh, I really need this picture of a monkey." I was like, "I really need this," and I was
this is gonna set me free.
I was like, "I really need this. This is the path forward." I'm like, "This is the biggest thing in the world."
Yeah. We all knew that it was gonna be worth 6 figures for sure way back then.
Yeah, that's why I only bought one.
Yes.
You were sharing it, saving some for the rest of us.
Yeah.
You wanted as many.
If I eat, everybody's got to eat. That's how it works.
Exactly. So after obviously starting the Bored Ape Gazette, do you feel like that was something that took off right away, or did it take a little bit to get some traction? How do you feel like the community kind of responded to that information?
They were really excited at first. A lot of people were excited, and I was trying to find my voice. Like, how do we want to cover things? What's important to people? I was still learning how to read the Ether scan and start to look at that. That was a lot of time I put into like learning how to connect wallets to other wallets, seeing what I'm looking at, making sure I understand it so that I can explain it to others. And, the first few days I was really excited. One of my favorite articles, it's either our first or second one at the Gazette, but it was the merch just showed up at everyone's house. Like, it was the first merch drop, and the merch just showed up. And somehow, I don't know how it happened, I got my merch super duper early. It's just one of those things where I guess, sometimes God smiles at you. I got my merch very early in the packaging and the shipping whole thing. I get it. I take a picture with it. Then I write like a little review on it on my site. Bored Ape Yacht Club reshared it. And I was like, wow, this is great. And it's funny, if you look at that old article in it, I mentioned like the floor price of a Bored Ape was like 0.59 ETH at the time. And I'm like, everyone's excited. Everyone's laughing, being super happy. They got a t-shirt and the floor is at 0.59 ETH. It's just crazy to think. And, over time, people started following the Gazette, started getting better and better stories, started covering things better, started reaching out to people. And it just kind of grew to this.
So, I mean, I guess, what was your take on like when everything started to explode? Did you like see like an uptick in like the amount of news or like the shift in like the narrative almost? Because I feel like if you were putting out stories, like you probably would have had a good idea on like that whole transition into like when things really just started to pop off.
It was funny. Like, I believe it was either late July or August. I don't remember exactly, but the New Yorker reached out to me and I was like, oh man, that's probably at least a local top, if not the top of everything when that happened. I was like, this is pretty crazy. I got interviewed for the New Yorker about a newspaper about bored apes on the internet. And I was like, oh man, this is pretty wild. So I would say that was probably one of the biggest moments, is when the New Yorker started reaching out to people and making their article.
Yeah, that was what, October, November timeframe?
It was before Mutants. I want to say it was like August, okay, or maybe even late July.
So not even quite the top, but still.
Yeah, but it was just a crazy time. Like, you can start to feel the excitement. You start to see the big sales go off. Mm-hmm. You started to see the big whales picking up things left and right. And you started to kind of like see like who the big players were going to be, at least for like that time period. Like, there were these two twin brothers who lived over in, I believe, Dubai, and they were constantly buying and selling. It was like Domain, and I believe his brother was 360 on Twitter. Okay. You have to look them up to 100% sure, but they were like big players at the moment. They had like trippy fur apes, gold fur apes. They were constantly buying and selling and moving.
And that's what got things kind of going too, right? It was like that amount of trading and action like daily, I think is kind of, it was definitely like a propelling factor in the floor price of Bored Apes. If you think back kind of across the last year and a half ish, or year and a quarter, whatever it is, it feels like it's been like 7 years. And considering where we are right now, it probably should have been at least 10. It's just like, it's been like this just hyper speed race down to where we are now. So, obviously you got into crypto before a lot of people did, because I would say a lot of people that are even in Bored Apes, they're very new to, crypto as a whole, Web3 as a whole. And so obviously you were kind of already immersed. Besides Bored Ape, were there other communities that you found, I don't know, like you kind of connected with and enjoyed maybe, I don't know, minting, holding some of those, or has it really been primarily just Bored Ape?
I minted quite a few things. I've bought quite a few things. I had a Punks comic for a while. I have a Gutter Cat. I bought a lot of stuff. I mean, especially at that beginning time, I'm sure everyone looks through. I had a lot of the not Doge Pound. It was the other one. It was another Doge or dog themed one. I don't remember exactly what it was.
There's like 7 of them. So
yeah, I have a lot. I look through sometimes and I smile because I look at them like I still like these a little bit. Like, I don't have the heart to like move them ever, but I still like them. I mean, I remember minting goats. That was pretty fun. I got some Alien Boy. I got a lot of stuff. I've tried not to buy as much. I started to realize I'm not a very good trader.
Yeah. So are you still, kind of actively trading, or have you kind of taken a halt to that? You're like, I'm holding my bags and focusing on.
I say I'm not, but like the last thing I traded that was kind of active was like I got into the 4-digit ENSs a while ago. I had like a few of those when you were able to mint those, and that was fun. So I feel like I haven't really done any trading, but then like I'm like that was like what 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So it
feels like it's been a year, but
yeah, I'm like that may as well have happened an eternity ago. I'm like in my head, I'm like there's like before other deeds and after other deeds now, and that was a before other deeds moment. So it's like that feels like an eternity ago.
It is crazy though, because the space has like kind of like quote unquote matured. Because I remember, back in the end of last summer and definitely in the fall, I mean, you're talking about like 90 to 100 projects dropping a day, which is just like with the amount of people that are here, that's really absurd when you think about it. But in the same token, if you minted most of those and flipped them like within 24 hours, you were like 5 and 10xing, which is just again, I mean, a silly status, and we should have all known like. Okay, we probably are near the top here. We cannot, just print 90 crappy NFT projects a day. Let's maybe pull back. And we've seen that. And I think this is healthy for the space as a whole. And obviously, I think like what you're saying is I found myself more focused on like what I want to hold long term. And that doesn't mean I'm just going to sell everything off, but I'm just not going to spend more time than I need to on things that I don't know if they have a future.
I'm happy with where I'm at now, and I think you guys are too now. It's like, you know what? I've had my fun. It was a fun summer last year, but I'm really just trying to focus on what I got and going, okay, let's hold this and let's see where this goes.
And obviously with the AIP passing, I mean, you've got like a massive undertaking and an exciting one here to kind of ramp it up and obviously help us navigate, I would say, ApeCoin and kind of what the DAO's doing and kind of the information that's happening. So that's just exciting for all of us. I think we all wanted more info.
Definitely. And, that's the main thing. Because, I mean, I know you guys were talking about the ApeCoin DAO earlier, and I do think it's like an information issue. Like a lot of people, like, for instance, I just learned this the other day. You can set up like the forum thing. So they have like the ApeCoin like voting area, but then they also have like a forum where you can go and talk to people on there. You don't have to have that set up through MetaMask to go on that forum. You can just go on there right now, put in an email, make a password, and then you start posting. You don't have to hold an ApeCoin. You can go in there and start posting. So I feel like that's pretty helpful information right there, because so many people, like I know me, people are like, what's the best crypto security? And my best advice is don't touch your wallet where your ape is.
Yeah.
It's on a separate laptop, blocked away. That's not around. I'm like, and that's not like the fun answer, but like that's the truth. I'm like, that's the best security. Nothing will happen if you don't touch it.
Agreed 100%.
And I mean, again, I just feel like a lot of people don't want to touch their hardware wallet. They don't want to touch it, so they didn't know that they could go to the ApeCoin DAO without having to really connect anything. You just have a username and password going.
That's definitely true. And I slept on the step and shoe claim recently, which turned out to be pretty profitable for some people. But I was like, I don't know. The last thing I heard, step-in token was like dumpster diving. So I was like, maybe I just am not going to claim the shoe. And that turned out to be quite a mistake. But
yeah, a big swing and miss for me too.
Anyways,
we need a token proof thing, like the same thing they use for the Ape Fest. They need to come out for something like that. I don't know what they can do, but token proof, if you're watching this, help us.
It was ridiculous how well token proof worked over NFT NYC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they were like the biggest winner, I feel like, out of anyone. Like them just, obviously supporting multiple projects and it going really flawlessly. Like I think they were by far the biggest winner of anyone that was there.
100%.
Dope. So I think we're going to get into our first game. Got a little introduction, and then we'll get ready to get all the hot takes from Mr. Bored Ape Gazette as we play Mint, Marry, Burn after the little clip. Let's get it. And there we are wiping out at the end. I'm sorry, guys. I took us out.
I think by the end of this, we need to have every single person's ape on some kind of character. Just
those are excellent.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen eventually.
Worth the 99 cents.
So, dude, we're gonna have every ape on a GIF at some point, guaranteed. When I can't sleep, I'll make GIFs. So, Will or Bryce, you want to go ahead and kick it off? I'll go ahead and share our beautiful game.
Alrighty.
1 second.
Sure.
Technical difficulties. Here we go.
Welcome to Mint, Mary, Burn. Let's start us off. We put it in presentation mode. All right. Yeah, first up, we got a nice pick of some Grail mutants, some would say. So, Kyle, which one would you mint, marry, and burn?
Oh man, I'd have to mint the Trippy Fur M2. Probably marry the Gold Fur, and then burn the Pizza Mouth. I love the Pizza Mouth though. That's a real hard one, guys. That's not easy.
Right?
That's not easy.
That is the point of the game. We want to make really tough decisions for anyone that comes on, obviously, because we don't want to be bored. Don't bore us, please.
Yeah. Another pretty tough one. Give us your thoughts.
You gotta marry the Trippy Fur. You gotta mint the Trippy Fur hat or the Trippy hat, and you gotta burn the pimp coat. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's
I'd
tough.
agree with you there.
That's tough. We love the pimp coat, but I would agree. I think he's going to the burn. I'm sorry.
That
Whoever
Trippy hat's too clean. Also, when are we getting our Trippy hats in for the mobile competition?
Now, funny story, the girl who won the Mutant Mobile posted a thing the other night saying that they reached out to her. So it sounds, I would say that's a good sign.
That sounds promising.
Hopefully soon.
Cross our fingers and toes. I only get the plushie, but I'll still take it.
Heck yeah. This was another one. We found these floor apes the other day. Obviously, a few have sold, but what are your thoughts on the floors?
I always love the cowboy hat, and one of my apes also has the bone necklace. So I gotta marry that one. I also I'd probably mint the bunny rabbit ears. I like the bunny rabbit ears. That's one I wish I would have bought when I first got in. I always liked the bunny rabbit ears. I don't know why I didn't get that. And unfortunately, I got to burn the one in the middle.
So, the interesting one, if you mutate like M2, I feel like the sushi headband M2 is just super killer. But then also the bunny ears ones is like they literally have little rabbits. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
That's the point. It's hard. Here we go. Another hard decision. Which gold are we going with?
You got to marry Machi's in the middle. The red hat. You got to go with that one.
All right.
And then I always like the bored, unshaven mouth, so I'd have to go with that one on the right. And then
I think I would honestly do the exact opposite.
Let's hear it.
I don't mind Machi's ape, but the X-eyes just aren't doing it for me.
Wow.
So that's where I would probably mint the unshaven and marry the one on the left with the flipped brim, clean black T-shirt. So
that is nice.
It's pretty clean.
So even the grin, and the red merch hat aren't gonna do enough to counteract the X-eyes.
They're not. I don't like them.
It's fair. A lot of people don't like the crying eyes either. I think, again, these are supposed to be hard decisions, and Kyle is just killing it thus far. Now, here we go. Now we're putting some extra spice.
You gotta take Gordon Goner's ape. I feel like that's the best one. I love that one. Yeah. And then that's the Mary. I'd want to mint Gargamel's, and then I'm sorry.
Man. All right. I feel like that's probably how it's gonna go, and I'm sorry, Mr. Ketchup. Your ape has now been thrown into the fire.
I love the background though. That's my ape's background too. The teal. I do like that teal.
This is three pretty tough.
Hey, no pressure here. No pressure, Kyle. That's three of our apes. So no pressure.
Those are zombie eyes on the cowboy, right? All right. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm marrying the cowboy with the zombie eyes.
we should have known when he said the cowboy hat. He loved it. I was like,
I know. As soon as I heard that, I was like, well,
no chance.
And then I'm gonna mint the pink and then burn.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
This is exactly what we predicted too. We called it before this. They were like, "Oh, Bryce, your NFTs gonna get burned."
I never liked the devil horns. I never liked the devil horns. I don't know. I never was into the devil. But now those turn into a pretty cool M2 though, if I'm not mistaken. Though, correct?
They do. Even the merch shirt M2 with like the white skull on its shoulder popping out.
I do love the merch. I do love. That's the thing is, I think this is a good. These are three quality quality, but not like maybe they are grails. They're our grails, whatever.
They're all grails now. You know, every ape is a grail at this
Let's
point.
go ahead and go for it. Ooh, this is what I'd like. We got some famous mutants for you to choose from here.
It's because I like these guys too. I'd probably have to marry Threador or not. No, not Thread Guy. My bad. Not Thread Guy. I'd have to marry not Thread Guy because he is on my account all day. Whenever I'm trying to update to go find news, it's nonstop him. I feel I don't know about you guys, but when I go to my newsfeed, it's nonstop him.
Right.
I don't know how, but it does seem that way.
Yeah, he must. I want to know how much he tweets because I feel like every time it's also a new tweet too. I don't feel I see his like same tweet over and over again.
That'd be a fun fact. How many tweets per day?
I was just gonna go see how many in total.
Oh, that's a good point too. Just go over there and just go look at that, and then
46.6 thousand tweets. Sorry to interrupt.
holy.
That is a lot of tweets.
No wonder he's
you
covering
can't
our
stop
feed.
seeing him.
Okay, yeah, I don't know about you guys. I try to put my goals to have like I put my articles up and then maybe a couple retweets of like some quick things that I saw throughout the day. I don't have enough to say.
Yeah. I think it's hard, and I feel like if I try to put too much, it's just pointless information. Like you can just skim through like 90% of my tweets. Then
That's
you probably
impressive.
already can. That's the thing. You probably already can.
That's impressive stuff though. 46,000
Oh, yeah.
less than a year. That is like
I was gonna say, I've never met the guy, but I imagine it would be the equivalent of like speaking with someone that just loves to hear themselves talk. I hope he's not like that, but like imagine like you're just talking to yourself all day. Like
you guys got to get him on the show because I'm kind of curious.
I know.
46,000 tweets is definitely worth
We
investing.
will have to get him on the show. 1,000%.
We'll get 3 words in the whole.
Yeah,
whole
he'll actually host it. It'll be great. He'll be running the game for us. Like we'll have to answer.
Yeah.
So we're marrying.
We're marrying him.
Okay.
Then we're minting the Trippy, and then I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I'm not a fan of the Soviet hat. I've never been.
Yeah, that's one that either people love or hate. I don't think there's actually any in between. We're gonna do a couple more, and we do have a couple at the end that are uber important to your heart, I think. But let's go ahead and throw it to a punk question here for you, and your thoughts on punks as you do it.
I like punks. I used to want a punk one day. I'm sure everyone did at one point. And then, the hoodie one is just gorgeous. I'd have to go, you got to marry the hoodie one. And then probably mint the 3D glasses. I like that. Then I don't vape, so I don't really want the vape one.
Get out of here. See ya.
Let's go. Here we go. This is a good one. We've got some Grail pieces here, and then obviously the Bored Ape. So a little curveball there.
Marry the Bored Ape, mint the Fidenza, and then burn. That's it. That's
all
how
right.
I do it. I love my apes. I'm not apes. I would say I'm going down. I'll hold them forever. Ooh.
I love that. Here we go. Here's
I have not seen some in a while.
That's okay. These are some very much pre-hype, massive floors, and if you look at them now, you may cry if you bought at the top. But here we go.
The robot one is the one that really sticks out to me because I remember how hyped everyone was, and people were showing. I remember like people had pictures of like this, like one on the right and one on the left, and the difference was like one little piece was like a different color in the middle.
Yeah,
you couldn't tell just looking at it. So, just for the sheer that one really is ingrained in my head. I'd have to say I'd have to marry the middle one. I forget what it's called, but that's the one.
The Mechaverse gets the dub with the marry.
Yeah.
Love it. And then we got Pixelmon and we got Frenzies on the right.
Oh, is that what Frenzies came out to be?
Yes.
I don't remember.
I didn't even know that.
Was that the Kevin one? Was that the one that had the Kevin in it?
That's the Pixelmon as Kevin, the little lion dude. Yeah.
Okay. I'd have to go mint that one, and then
Frenzies is dead. All right, here we go. Here's a good one that should be near and dear to your heart.
Oh yeah, these look familiar.
These should look very familiar. We did a little peeking in Mr. Kyle's wallet, and so now he's going to have the tough decision here of marrying, minting, and burning. So
I spent quite a bit of ape coin buying all these lands. I really like the lands. I'm pretty bullish on that. I have some more in my other wallet as well. I also really like the artifacts. I don't know. I've kind of went pretty hard on the artifacts when I was buying. I kept going like it has to have an artifact. This one's easy. You got to marry the waterfall one, and then you want to mint the castle looking one, and then burn the stairs. I like the stairs, but that one's pretty plain. I know, but that one's plainer.
Hey, I love it. And it looks like the other two had artifacts, and that one maybe has a rare resource. So I think that's a fair call there.
Yeah, I'd take it.
And then we had to make it tough here for you. We put a couple large purchased apes, and then of course, none other than your ape there in the middle.
I have to marry my ape. I might be a
Yes,
little biased.
sir. There we go.
I'm gonna have to burn the trippy, and I will mint the gold.
Love it. We're burning a trippy. I think it only sold for like 500 E's, so no big deal. We're burning 500 E's, baby. Well,
I couldn't burn mine. Never burn mine.
Well, thanks again for playing along with our first ever Wheel of Boredom. That was our Mint Mary Burn edition. We'll have a couple other games coming up with some of our next guests. So I know that Bryce and Will have got some questions. Obviously, we want to talk a little bit more about the AIP and kind of like the future of, you and the Bored Ape Gazette and kind of where you see things and maybe where you see YUGA. So I'm going to go ahead and let Will and Bryce take it over.
Yeah, all right. So, I mean, obviously, AIP number 70 got passed today. Congratulations. So I guess first question is like, what's next? Like, do you already know what comes down the pipeline in terms of like moving the ball forward? And like, do you have like an official, like, hey, you need to start, working on what you promised in AIP 70, like now, or is it in like a month, or like, how does that kind of work? And
Definitely. So first thing we did, so tonight on my Twitter, after the vote was confirmed, I announced my new Substack, and I'm making a Substack. It's going to be a weekly recap, so we have 2 weeks a month. We're going to cover YUGA labs at large. I'm calling it Keeping Tabs on the Lab, and that's just kind of fun. And it will basically be a recap of like the important things that you need to know. And then the first and third week of every month, I will be doing like a in-depth look at the DAO and making sure that everyone knows what's coming up, what's being discussed, things like that. And the purpose of these like Substack, these newsletters is, the Gazette, my whole goal with the Gazette has always been, I want to write for people who aren't on Twitter all day. Like some people are like, oh, I already saw this on Twitter. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You did already see it on Twitter. This was not for you. Like, this is for people who have a job, who have a family, who are, they're in the Bored Ape Yacht Club community. They hold ApeCoin, but they don't have time to be on Twitter all day reading everything. And I think that's what makes the Gazette really special, is because, okay, it's 10 o'clock at night. You've been at work. You've been with your kids all day. You get home. You go, I wonder how my $100,000+ investment is doing. There's a lot of information, a lot of noise on Twitter. People are freaking out. I mean, as you guys were saying, ETH goes up today, then it goes down, then it goes back up, and then rips. A lot of noise. You go to the Gazette, you find out that today, this guy, Mr. Ghost, he purchased 8 mutant apes today and spent like $210,000. You find out Madonna had a comment in Variety about how she wanted this one Bored Ape, but she got a different one. So, you just go to the Gazette and you see those things. You go, oh, okay. Things are going good. Things are going a certain way, People still like this thing. And that's kind of been like my whole goal with the Gazette, is always like, I'm writing for people who don't have time all day. They're not on Twitter.
I think that's great, because there's going to be a lot of us like me. I can't do that. I've got 2 kids. I'm the old man of this crew, and I'm getting old. My wheelchair is coming soon, and I appreciate obviously like information being gathered for me, because like you're right. Like I still miss stuff, but this makes it a little bit easier.
Exactly. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to the Substack.
Yes, sir.
That'll be a once a week thing, and then I'm also going to use that as like a way to push push notification people when like big things happen. So, for instance, like last time, like YUGA Labs like dropped like the other side stuff, and it's like massive information, like you need to know it. Maybe I'll push notification that so it goes to everyone's email. So that's the first thing we're doing. And then I'm going to be working with Brandon Karuna over at the ApeCoin DAO, and he's going to help actually build out the Gazette and help me with a lot more of like the technical like side to actually make those things a reality. I have a lot of fun ideas, but I mean, I have a Wix website right now. That's what I was able to build. And hopefully now we're going to be able to build a lot better website and get that up in the next quarter or so.
Awesome. So that'll get a total revamp. You mentioned stuff about, having like a classifieds, ApeCoin ticker, the YUGA collections all over the site. I guess in its final state, what does that look like in terms of like traffic, in terms of like visual? I mean, is this like the first step? Is there going to be like extra layers to what you've already kind of laid out in the AIP? Like,
definitely this is like a first step. I feel like covering the Yuga Labs, like all their NFTs first and foremost, because we're the Bored Ape Gazette and we cover Yuga Labs, the other side, ApeCoin DAO, all those things. So I really want to focus on that. And then, as the other side grows and expands and people from other communities start coming in, I'd love to one day try to branch out and bring writers and reporters from other communities who can write like 1 article or 2 articles a day on like Cool Cats or on Gutter Cats or on you name it. So that's like a long-term goal. That's like probably a year or so. But for right now, I'm focusing on, apes, mutants, ApeCoin DAO, other side. And that will kind of look more like, if you go to like CNBC, sometimes they have like the ticker at the bottom or they have like sales coming through. That's kind of what I'm hoping it looks like. I got to talk with Brandon, figure out what's actually like realistic and what's actually buildable and what's more like, okay, this is what that will kind of look like. So maybe it will be like a running ticker that goes across the top, or maybe it'll be like on the side and it'll show you like recent sales of every collection. Got to work on that a little bit, but I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, it will look better than it does now. There is a piece of random like text or something that I can't get rid of for some reason on my website. So that will be gone immediately soon. So I'm looking forward to, just building it up and, putting out more coverage and more content for everybody.
Yeah. I had a question over, you were just kind of talking about all the content that's happening every single day. How do you kind of filter through and decide, okay, like this is important, or how are you kind of like first to the information to then retweet it and share with everybody else? You have accounts you follow that you're like, these are my people and they give me all the alpha I need to know. Are you on Twitter yourself all day, every day?
I'm on Twitter myself a lot. Like I also have a bad sleep habit. So my sleeping schedule is very bad. So I'll go to sleep at like 3 a.m, 4 a.m, and I'm up usually most days at like noon or like 11. And, in the NFT community, no one really works in the morning. Everyone's asleep. No one wakes up till like noon. So the big news of the day doesn't happen till like the afternoon. So it feels like I'm always around and I'm always able to cover it. So I don't know, like we'll see. I mean, that's really how I do it. I also like to check the Bored Ape bots, all of those, because those give you a good indicator of where to start looking. And then you go to like OpenSea, you go to Etherscan, and you start to put it together. Like the other day, I had a pretty cool story about this guy. He bought 20 other deeds. And then at first, it's not that big a deal. It's just like floor other deeds. But I kept seeing his number come up, and I went to Etherscan. The guy has 4,600 ETH in his wallet, and that's the first thing he's done in almost a year. So I don't know what that means, but you know what? That's the type of news I think everyone should want to hear. Hey, this whale wallet that has millions of dollars in it just bought 20 other deeds. I don't know what that means. I'm just putting it out there. You can go look. It's all there. And that's always the goal.
Yeah, definitely.
Bullish indeed.
Yeah.
He's buying a gold ape next. I feel it.
Man,
he's got the ETH to fire.
It's
Oh,
Elon's wallet.
So with other side, slowly getting teased, and I mean, obviously it looks like there will be an end goal at site where we can start building on it. Have you started to think about like a metaverse presence for the Bored Ape Gazette and like what that might look like? Or
a little bit. Like I would love to have like a newsroom on one where people can go and visit, almost like a New York Times like styled newsroom. Like people can go there and like go see it. And like, they can go like read like past articles, or they can look around. I also think like a cool like hall of former apes would be kind of cool. Like a hall of fame of like people who were here early, who sold for one reason or the other. I mean,
everybody that paper handed.
The paper hand Hall of Fame now. But, I mean, like, I think it'd be cool because like there are so many people who were in the community, then they left, but like people remember them. I mean, one guy who I always remember is, I think it was Clarence. Do you guys remember Clarence?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was pretty big right at the beginning. And I mean, he always pops up on my news feed every once in a while. He always has a new name or something, but it's always him. It's always kind of interesting to see him pop up. But I think that'd be really cool to like cover him and go like, hey, remember this guy? And it's like, oh yeah, that was a pretty cool moment.
Man, that's a throwback. I remember a lot. And I actually know Lance a little bit. So that's I still talk to him now to this day, but obviously not about Bored Ape. But that's an absolute throwback because he really was everywhere. Like he was on Spaces, he was putting things together to try to get people to have a chance, kind of like a lottery ticket to win a Bored Ape. If you remember that, he was doing these like, it wasn't that much. It was really cheap, but you couldn't have a Bored Ape to enter. It was again
he started the banana thing. He started the banana verification, which was just excellent.
And now you see how many people, including myself, that still have it. Like it's hilarious for sure. Definitely an impact.
I'm pretty sure the Gazette still has its banana verification. Just never.
Yeah. Why would you take it down? It's
No, just no need. I was verified.
It's history.
Exactly.
Will, any other questions specifically to the AIP or other side or things, the future here with the Bored Ape Gazette?
No, I mean, I think I touched on the few that I wanted to ask about.
I know, Bryce had a question. I know
looking
Bryce
through your
had
wallet the other day, and we noticed quite the bag of ENS names. You know, all sorts of types. You know, are you an ENS maxi? Are you super bullish?
I
You
follow.
think any name will be like.
I follow
Cool.
Daniel Got Hits. I follow Daniel Got Hits, and he posts so much about it. I got excited. There are nights where I would stay up and just be like, I have a lot of charity names. I don't know if you look through on my more hot wallet or like my like semi-selling wallet, like that one has a lot of like charity names in it. And you know, it was kind of cool. Like I would just, because everyone already had all the companies, so I was just picking up charity names, colleges, and I was like, these could be fun. And I don't know. I didn't know you. I mean, I have quite a bit. I like the ENSs a lot. When I start to hear, like, I don't know, I saw him post it. You know, he posts about it so much that eventually I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I'm in.
Yeah. Right. I mean, ENS does make a lot of sense.
And, you know, for 0.01 ETH, it's really addicting too. You're just sitting there like another one.
It's
so are you holding pretty much all of them with the intent of selling in a few years or decades once this is
pretty much. Yeah. I mean, I have a few that I like that are like other side related. Like I have like Other Side Tavern in there somewhere. I have Other Side like art gallery. I have some other side related ones. I have some like, you know, I have mine like the Bored Ape Gazette.eth. But you know, a lot of them I'm just kind of seeing where it goes because I'm like, if it's like, you know, if ENS works out as much as the people who love ENS say it could, I'll be really sad if I have like no ENS.
Right.
Especially at 0.01 ETH, I feel it's like a very good asymmetrical bet just because it's like, what is that right now? That's like $12 or $15.
Exactly. It's nothing. Yeah.
Then you can have it for like a year. And if you then extend it for like another like $5. So I don't know. I like the ENS.
No,
question, did you buy it all pre ENS airdrop or post ENS airdrop?
Post. I didn't get the airdrop.
We talked about that last night. We were like, ooh, that ENS.
We were like, dang, if he got all these pre airdrop,
no. I wish. I'm hoping for a second airdrop. No, but I don't know.
ENS, if you're listening, please airdrop more. Thank you.
It was a real disappointment because I had a couple buddies who like told me so many times, they're like, get the Bored Ape Gazette.eth, get the Bored Ape Gazette.eth, and I just didn't do it until after the airdrop. I just, you know, it was one of those things. I was like, yeah, I have time. I'll do it eventually. And then all of a sudden, eventually came and went. I had no ENS, got no airdrop, and I was like, oof, that was a big mistake. So unfortunately, I didn't know ENS was a big deal until after that. Did you guys get the airdrop?
I had one name that I registered, which was mine, just bright.eth. And so thankfully I did get a little bit and I insta sold it. I was like $3 a token, like gone. And then it shot up to like 50 or whatever. And I was like, well, GG. But free money is free money. So
I was pretty lucky. I had two and I had done them for like a long time, like 30 or 40 years or something. So like I got a pretty nice little bag and I held long enough where I still don't hold any, but I sold it. I would say not at the top, but near the top. So that's good.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a good win for me. Any last questions from Bryce, or not ask questions, but last questions from Bryce or Will?
I mean, I was gonna say you've mentioned subscribing to the Substack that you just put out. Is there anything that you want to plug? Anything else we need to know or
Bored Ape
keep our eyes on?
The BoredApeGazette.com. Definitely go over there. Read some of my more recent articles about the other side and where we are in the phase 1 of the other side. I thought that was really neat the other day. Also, make sure if you have your Elite Ape tokens, the window to burn those for Punk's comic, for their newest Punk's comic, is tomorrow. A lot of Bored Apes have that for free. I don't want to hear people go, oh, I didn't know I should do that. I don't know. We're not doing that game anymore. So go do that if you have your Elite Ape tokens for sure. That's pretty much it. Go read about the other side and keep reading the Gazette.
And obviously follow him on Twitter. Of course, hit him with a Twitter follow because you're going to get amazing information from that. So I just want to say thanks, Kyle. We definitely appreciate you coming on and being guest number 1. You are a guinea pig, and I think you absolutely killed it. So now every other guest that has to come through these doorways, man, that's a high bar you just set, my friend.
Well, thank you guys for having me. This was a real pleasure. I love the game. I love the graphics that you guys made. Great 99-cent buy. You guys have a great one, all right?
All right, we'll see you, Kyle.
Appreciate it, guys. You have a nice night.
You
Thanks.
too.
You as well.
Super dope.
And that's a wrap on episode 1. I would consider it a success. With I wasn't bored. Were you guys bored?
I was not bored.
Not bored.
Not bored. Yeah, I thought it was.
I mean,
pretty
it's
solid.
kind of disappointing since we are Bored Apes. I mean, I feel like we should have
know.
been bored, but
Ooh,
no.
Good point. Maybe we need more boring guests. Good
Could be.
thought. That's
If
definitely.
you're boring and you want to talk, let us know. Actually, super boring would be not talking at all. So if you want to,
So let's get Not Thread Guy.
45 minutes.
We'll get Not Thread Guy. We'll be good.
Yeah, well, I'll just like doze off into the mic. You'll just hear my forehead hit the
That
mic.
would be bored to death.
Yeah, literally, quite literally. But if you are interested in coming on, we do want to talk to you. We've got a couple already kind of lined up over the next couple weeks, but we've got plenty of room for awesome people within the YUGA ecosystem. If you want to come and say hi, chat with us and play our game, we'd love to have you because this is a lot of fun. We love talking with other members and kind of picking their brain. And he really did give us a lot of information. It was cool to hear. I didn't realize like he really did start, in crypto pretty early comparative to a lot of people in the space.
Definitely. Yeah, it was cool to hear his story and then what he wants to do with the Bored Ape Gazette moving forward.
For sure. The last thing I will say is we will be doing a little competition between the three of us. We will start that on our next episode. We'll do some trading competition. I'm fairly certain I'm going to lose because these dudes are like wizards, and I am.
This
I'm
dude's
just
a wizard.
yeah.
I'm the younger brother that's like, call me Alpha.
So now he's not going to tell you any because he doesn't.
Yeah, what do
knows
I
the
buy,
game.
Will?
Yeah, you're on your own.
No, dude, I'm stalking your wallet.
Remember, if you lose, then you have to eat the number 5 death nut again, and we know how that went for Bryce, so that'll be great.
I
I
died.
don't know if I still have mine anymore.
I threw them away. I
I'll
definitely
just order a new pack straight to your door.
yes.
Yeah, I threw mine away. Well, they're probably rotting in the trash can right now.
We will definitely airdrop you the death nut. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Well, again, guys, I think this was a great first show. Definitely not bored. Lots of fun, lots of laughs. And again, congratulations to Kyle and the Bored Ape Gazette. That's pretty damn exciting to have that going as we move forward. So any last thoughts before we put a bow on it?
No, I'm happy with how it went. I'm excited to kind of bring the other games to life and then improve on them as we go, as we make our way around the swamp, talking to other apes. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, follow us on the socials. Feel free to DM us if you have a topic or literally anything you want us to cover, or if you want to join us on show and kind of talk with us and go through an interview sort of thing. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely. Our DMs are open. Hit us in the DMs.
It goes down. In
Yes,
the DMs,
it
goes down.
always goes down in the DMs. And with that, we want to say good night. Have an awesome rest of the week, and we will catch you next time.
Peace.
Peace.